This tale is gonna be very spooky, scary, and a time when I, almost died. So let's hop into it. Oh. Welcome back to another episode here at Shanclen Shadow Productions. Yes, I know I've been gone for like a week and a half, but I was spending time with family and I cherish that a lot. So my sister came back to visit and I was busy filming some content here at Shanclen Shadow Productions and Shanclen Shadow Lodge. So if you guys are enjoying the content here at Shanclen Shadow Productions, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on your notifications to all so you guys don't miss any content coming out of this channel. And go subscribe to Shanclen Shadow Lodge as well. Now, without further ado, now we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and start talking about this story here. Now, there's one time in my life, I was a caretaker of, how do I put this? Highly valued sacred objects. Now, this happened completely by accident, and I'm gonna have to leave out some parts of the actual story just due to sacredness. I will get in big trouble if I do share too much. But that doesn't mean this story isn't gonna be good. Oh, even the censored version is pretty wild. So, me and some other people from the organization that I'm a part of, we're finished up doing, I guess you can say, a mission or a task we were sent to go do. Now, this task involved somebody that was a caretaker of highly valued sacred objects inside of the spiritual world and physical world as well. Now, I will not be able to say exactly what exactly what kind of items these are. Just know these items are to die for. And when it comes to items such as these, it's very sought after by good and evil, and it can be used for good and evil. It's a very, very powerful tool inside of these worlds. Now, after we completed said mission and task that we were sent to do, my vehicle was the vehicle that we took on this crusade that we did. And the person that was the caretaker of these objects, I will not say who they are or their name to protect them as well, but this person messed up big time. And when I say big time, I mean this person forgot those sacred items in the trunk of my car. Now, when it comes to normal jish meaning sacred items that we have, it can be okay, like if it's just normal protections and items that you have locally within yourself. But when it came to these objects, this was a huge no as far as for losing these objects, losing these items, and unfortunately having them go and be forgotten in someone's car. Yes, this person had to go through major repercussions for what he did, because I tried keeping it hush-hush, but somebody found out about it because, yeah, later on in the story you'll find out. No. I found out because when I drove back to another member's home, there I was unpacking my stuff, I was going to spend the night there, and when I got there, I opened up the trunk and I saw those items inside the bag, and the specific bag that he has inside of my trunk. And I real quickly was like, holy ish, these are in my car. He forgot to grab them. And I immediately gave him a call, and he was already about like 4 or 5 hours away. He actually caught a ride with somebody else too. And he said, okay, I trust you enough to look after these items for one night. Now, these things, like I said, they're very highly sought after. He's all like, go ahead and put some protections up. Go ahead and put like a little cloak if you need to over it to make sure that its scent doesn't get out there. If these kind of darker things that are out there that want to go and hunt and try to claim it, do not find these items. And I was like, oh shit. Okay. So he was just like, I could use a little vacation. And he hung up the phone. And I was just like, oh, geez. Now, these items inside of this bag here, I ended up taking inside, and one of my bro's house that he didn't have much protections up at his house. So I was just like, okay, we got to make sure that we have significant amount of protections inside of this home here. And so normally, you know, like we would have just been hanging out, had some dinner, and went to sleep. But I don't think because of these items, we were able to have a good night's rest. So I'd have to say we were staying up, we were staying vigilant because we both understood and knew the severity of our situation that we were actually in. Now, the importance of this whole thing is, yeah, at the time we were kind of trained up to know exactly the weight of what we were carrying at the time and the severity that we could not let evil and darkness get their hands on these items. Now, of course, we requested help and assistance to be able to help us protect these items. And so a couple more of our brothers ended up showing up at the house of my other bro's house. And so there would have to, I would say, about maybe 10 to 15 of us there at the house. And we were all kind of just chilling, talking, having a tobacco smoke with each other, sharing stories and laughing, until we heard the cry of the mutties outside, yipping and hollering and doing all their yenagloshi and witchy evil shit. So we got ready. Well, we were pretty much already ready. We kind of already knew when this was going to be happening. They were going to attempt to make their chance to be able to steal these items, because any being that's out there locally that knew that these items were here would have a chance to gain some honor by taking these items too as well. So there is when things got interesting. They tried breaking into the house. Now, when it comes to evil things and dark things, when it comes to normal protections that you have inside of your home, most times those things can be able to protect you from these darker things, or at least the lower level ones. And when I tell people that skinwalkers are the most powerful things, no, they're not. If you were to put skinwalkers on a scale of evil things out there in the world, skinwalkers are about a 0.5. Maybe a 0.6 out of 10 difficulty level. So that's why, like, a lot of people are like, oh, skinwalkers are so scary. They can be if you're not prepared. But if you have 10 to 15 strong warriors inside of a house ready to go that know how to handle these beings, yeah, those aren't the least of our problems. But we knew something else was going to be showing up too as well. Now, how they were able to track us and how they were able to find these things, objects like these have an energy scent, I guess you can say. So when the Yanagloshis and everything that were kind of going around, they tried coming in the house, but they didn't. So they needed assistance from something more powerful. That's when we heard the wolves, but they weren't like normal wolves. They were more so beasts, animal beasts that are pretty much the hunting dogs of hunters. And if you guys, I don't think I've ever talked about hunters on my channel before, but hunters are pretty much, I've mentioned in some of my other videos, there are different factions out there. Hunters are their own separate faction. There's good ones, there's bad ones, but they're almost kind of like bounty hunters. And these guys that ended up showing up to the house had hunter dog beast things that just blew past the front door. And let me tell you, it was a fucking brawl to get through and make sure these things didn't end up coming inside and taking these items. And so we were able to push these things back, minimal injuries. But I think at that point, one of our other bros called the guy that was the caretaker of these things, and we ended up calling to be able to get some more assistance. So we had some higher level good guys show up on the spiritual realm, I guess you can say. And yeah, those guys were pretty much able to take over from there and push a lot of those evil things out. Let me tell you, they breached the house. And I remember I was standing in the back room, and I was pretty much the last line of defense to make sure these things do not get inside and take these items. I just remember seeing like these beast dogs. I would have to say they're about like 3 or 4 feet high, and they were just crawling all over the walls trying to make their way into the room and then the hallway there. And yeah, from then on, like right as those beasts were making their way inside of the home, it was so close to getting me. But I remember seeing a big old flash, I guess you can say, of heavenly light. It's almost like a flashbang almost. But our spiritual warriors ended up showing up at that certain time, and they made quick work of those dogs that were inside of the house. Just immediately, like a wave of light came down the hallway into the room and just pretty much pushed everything out. From there, some of our warriors that were there, that are pretty much the communicators, the seers of these beings, were communicating and talking with them. I was talking with them too, and pretty much set up a defense perimeter. And throughout the night, different things would kind of show up that would want to try to claim these items and take them to whoever was the highest bidder of wanted these sacred items. And so we were pretty much up all night pushing and fighting these things, and it was fun. Like, because all this was a complete accident, like for me, I was already, gosh, I don't even know how old I was, but I was pretty seasoned in all this stuff already. So that's why, like, if I was pretty new at this whole stuff we do, the protector or the guardian of these items would have just came back. But he trusted us. He knew that we would be able to take care of it one night. And like he said, he needed a vacation, because I'm pretty sure this dude deals with this every single day when it comes to these items. But he also has his own things of, I guess you can say, cloaking and hiding these items from evil eyes and ears. So I must not have done a good job of trying to cloak it if all these things were able to find where we were. And it was pretty much just an all-night thing of just being awake and pushing evil things back. But once our spiritual protectors ended up showing up, those guys, man, they're fucking badass. I know a lot of people ask me, they're like, why don't you talk about the good spirits? Why don't you talk about the good warriors and stuff like that? Yeah, I mean, I could. I guess this could be the start of it, but I don't really want to share too much about them, just because I don't want to share anything that could potentially be used against them as far as for tactics and ways of being and thought processes and stuff like that. Just like, I love these guys so much. They're my brothers in arms for many years, and I respect and love these guys so much that I don't even want to risk putting them in danger. So that's why, like, I don't put any names out there or exactly techniques that they have. It's just what I saw. And it was just like a blast of light going through the whole house and pretty much purging out the evil that was inside that was trying to get those items. And so, yeah, all night, man, we were just chilling there. We'd be outside, and then we'd just be having a tobacco smoke, and then out of nowhere, like, an owl shows up and he starts hooting at us, and we're like, yeah, we know. Give him some tobacco offering, and then give him some little bit of chicken meat too, and then as offerings for saying thank you for giving us some clearly obvious message that we were being hunted that night. And so different types of evil beings ended up showing up. We had phantoms, we had beasts, like I said, we had hunters, and different factions of evil from Hell's armies ended up showing up too, and just warriors and just stuff like that. It was a long night, I can say. And so when it came to when the sun finally showed up, that's when those things ended up kind of, most of them went away, but some of them can withstand sun god's light and the light of the sun. And so when the light of the sun ended up showing up, only the stronger ones ended up staying, but they stayed at a distance because they knew that the guardians that we had with us were very, very powerful, and they honestly couldn't do nothing against them. So they didn't want to risk their lives, so they were just reconning and pretty much making sure if they wanted to be able to track us wherever we went if we left the house, then they could just follow us from there. So I got in contact with the guardian of those items, and he told me to meet me at a certain spot. And from there, that's when he was pretty much doing a cloaking ceremony. And from there, we pretty much disappeared off the radar of evil evil spirits and evil beings at the time. So he began the cloaking ceremony, and pretty much he was able to take the items off my hands, thank God. And yeah, it was a wild night for sure, definitely one I will not forget. And just gives major props to those caretakers of sacred items such as that, on that capacity and high level. Now this caretaker, he was a little bit older. I would have to say maybe he's around 30, 40-ish years old, late 30s, early 40s. So he's been a caretaker of those items for a good couple years, but previously before that, he was a caretaker of other items as well. So I give major props to those guys that look after such items like this, and it really kind of brings another level of when you're dealing with spiritual items such as that. It's a lot of things that humans don't normally think about. You know, when people think about a sacred object, they think about a haunted doll, or you know, they think of other items such as, you know, like a cursed blade or something like that. No, these things are like, I would have to say even above Vatican level, maybe equal Vatican level items that's like in those vaults and stuff. I don't know what they have in there, but maybe it's on the same tier or above that. But for something that is well cherished and required and needed from evil and good at the same time, yeah, it's very, very powerful indeed. So it goes way back before even humans were actually here. So yeah, but that kind of like gives like a little bit of a taste of like stuff that we know. And it's I can't go, like I said, I can't go into too much detail about it. As you can see, I'm kind of like kind of going around the whole idea of the thing, and we only kind of really tell people that who are outside of the organization, whether that be either family or yeah, people that we deem trustworthy of this knowledge that we have right here. Of course, if you're not a part of the organization, we're not going to tell you where these things are or who the caretaker is, because you might be taken prisoner, interrogated, and you might be the person that leaks that information. So that's why I don't share too much about good stuff here on the channel. But it's Halloween week here, everybody, so I wanted to share a story about a time when I was accidentally a caretaker of very sacred objects that almost made me lose my life. And the whole time I was just thinking like, golly, man, how could he forget these things? Now I gotta deal with these things. But then it all makes sense when he was talking about, oh, I need to go on a little bit of I need a vacation. So but yeah, thank you so much to my brothers and the spiritual beings that ended up showing up to be able to help me get through the night when it comes to these objects and these items here. So indeed, so thank you everybody so much for watching these videos here. I kind of talked about a lot of different things, but if you guys have questions or things you want to kind of know about more, so like the hunters or how the phantom showed up or anything like that, leave it in the comments. I'll be more than happy to talk about it if I can. I'll let you know if I can or cannot. But yeah, definitely, you know, trying to expose the darkness in this world can really help out. So like I said, like when it comes to Yenagloshis and Skinwalkers, they're not that gnarly or crazy that everyone who has never experienced them or seen them they're not really that big or dangerous compared to those things. So I definitely don't want to try to mess with those things ever again. So that's the reason why I'm not really going into too much detail, because they might watch this video and they might try to come after me again. But indeed, so if I just go missing one day, then it'll all make sense. I told you so. Just kidding. No. Anyways, yeah, so some channel updates. This is Halloween week, everybody, so very spooky time here. I'm going to be having more audio videos or audio scary stories coming out here very soon. There's also going to be a very special episode coming out here for Saturday or Friday for Halloween too as well. So yeah, if you guys are enjoying the content, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you everybody for who's a part of the channel now, who shares and likes. We are currently over 128,000 subscribers, which is amazing currently. And if you're in the future watching this and we have more, hello from the past. And so yeah, be sure to, I have a link tree inside of my channel that has my Instagram, Clen Warrior SSP. Clen Shadow Lodge SSP is my second one for my second channel. I wanted to make an announcement too that there's going to be a live show happening in the Shanclen Shadow Lodge channel. So go subscribe over to the Shanclen Shadow Lodge channel. I just recently put up a vlog with me and Bezpaw going to Flagstaff, and we got some pictures of the autumn leaves changing color for fall and my beginning of my new journey into the comic book world. So actually too, I'll just doing a little bit of announcement on that. When I say I like comic books now, this is what I mean. Look at all these. Me and Bezpaw went over to Flagstaff or Phoenix, and we went on a crusade to get comics. So a lot of these are all Predator versus Marvel, Avengers versus Aliens, kind of just stuff like that. I'm really into Alien versus Predator stuff. So yeah, there's gonna be a video coming about that on the second channel too as well. So go subscribe over there. And again, with the live show is gonna be coming out here very soon. I got a producer for the show to be able to help me out too there as well. And if you'd like to sponsor the channel too, please reach out to me via email at Shanclen Shadow Productions, or reach out to me on Instagram at Clen_Warrior_SSP, and let's work out some details. Let's collab. Let's hang out and let's go ahead and grow this channel. Yes. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the updates. Many blessings to everybody. Happy Halloween. Because all of October is Halloween. Yes. Many blessings to you. Hope you all have a good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Look at it. Comic books, Shanclen. Yeah, they're pretty cool. And I've mentioned multiple times on this show that I don't really like reading books because it's kind of boring, unless it's like really knowledgeable and stuff, but like just for fun. And if they're just like random stories, not really. But these comic books are really cool. I read the Predator versus Wolverine series, Predator versus Black Panther. Next one is the Predator versus Spider-Man. And the one I started out with was with Bezpaw. He bought me Predator Kills the Marvel Universe 1 and 2. Number 3 came out this past week. So next one's coming out in the end of November. So yeah, I haven't read the third one yet because Wolverine, Predator, and Black Panther. Wolverine, Black Panther, and Spider-Man were the ones before this one. So I got to catch up before I read the third one. Yeah. It's really cool, everybody. Go follow the second channel. A lot of cool stuff over there. Oh. Clap.